I left my tent for 60 seconds. When I came back, my brother was gone. We set up camp at Crater Lake, Oregon. Thick trees all around. Only a couple of other tents nearby. By sunset, the three of us, my cousin, my brother, and I, ate some food and decided to call it a night. Around 2:30 in the morning, I woke up, desperate to use the bathroom. I stepped outside, took care of business, and headed back through the cold dark. The tent zipper hung wide open. My little brother's sleeping bag was empty. Heart racing, I shook my cousin awake. He bolted upright the moment he saw the empty spot. Flashlights in hand, we searched the woods for hours, calling his name until dawn painted the treetops. With no luck, we finally radioed the park rangers. They organized a line search that stretched through the pines. After 4 long hours, a ranger's voice came through. They'd found him, 10 miles from camp, wearing nothing but his underwear. No memory of how he even got there. Back at the station, our cousin mentioned a writer who studies disappearances in national parks. Standing in that bright ranger office, that story hit hard. People vanish out here, sometimes in the blink of an eye. Since that night, the quiet between the trees at Crater Lake feels different, like it's listening. I love camping far from anyone, down dirt roads, out on prairie flats with forest all over. 2 winters ago, I set up there alone, just me and my big hound Jake. The air was below freezing, but the campfire was blazing and keeping us warm. Jake wandered, then circled back for warmth. The little bell on his collar told me exactly where he was. I leaned against my truck, sipped a drink, music low, stars everywhere. After about 20 minutes, I noticed Jake was gone. I called his name. Nothing. Turned the music off and called louder. Still nothing. 5 uneasy minutes passed. Then I heard his bell behind me. That was strange. He'd been sniffing the trees in front of me earlier. Figuring he'd loop around, I relaxed and chopped more firewood. The bell kept jingling behind me. Something's close, something's far, like he was roaming. 40 minutes slipped by, and I noticed that I haven't heard Jake's bell. I started to panic. I grabbed my flashlight and walked towards the tall pine wall. Beams swept the trunks. Nothing. No eye shine, no sound, nothing. A branch snapped deeper in the dark. Cold washed over me. I decided to return to my fire and my gear. I just reached the truck when Jake exploded from the tree line, racing full speed, panic barking like I'd never heard before. He darted behind me, then dove under the truck, trembling. That's when I saw it. His collar, still clipped tight, without the bell. Whatever had been behind me, ringing that bell in the dark, wasn't my dog. Jake and I climbed into the cab, locked the doors, and sat through the frozen night, listening. I never learned who or what carried the bell across the prairie. And every winter since, when the wind rattles the pines, I swear I can almost hear it jingle out there. Last year, my friend and I wrapped up college and celebrated with a long trip through Southeast Asia. Thailand and Cambodia. Everything felt like a vacation highlight reel. Then came the border crossing into Vietnam. We had prepaid visas. All we needed was a stamp and a smile. A guard waved us aside, his English with the single word, no. The visas were for airport entry, not land. That tiny mistake slammed the gate shut. The bus rolled away without us. No phones, no cash machine, no map. Just jungle humming through a concrete checkpoint. My buddy doubled over with stomach trouble. I tried to ignore beetles the size of golf balls crawling nearby. We had to barter with whatever we carried. All we owned was a cheap fisheye camera and an old Chelsea FC shirt. I offered the camera. My friend held up the jersey. A tuk-tuk driver finally nodded. He hauled us down a dirt road to a tiny village. There we waited, sweaty and anxious, until a bus rumbled past. I ran into the road waving the blue Chelsea shirt like a flag. The guide spoke just enough English to understand. Mercy or amusement? I'll never know. But he let us ride. 12 slow hours later, we rolled back to our destination. Tired and finally feeling safe. The people had proven kind, the border less so. I learned 2 things that day. Triple check your paperwork, and always pack something worth trading. I landed in Vegas late on Valentine's night, rolling one suitcase behind me. My sister wouldn't arrive until morning, so I'd booked the same hotel she planned to use. At least, that's what the travel site told me. When I reached the front desk around midnight, the clerk frowned. No record of your name, and all rooms are full. Every card I owned was maxed from Vegas. I was suddenly broke, alone, and miles from home. Granville Island felt friendly when I was 5. At midnight, it felt like another city. I dragged my bags along the dark street, while a heavy-set man watched me a little too closely. Anxious, I headed to SkyTrain, only to find out that it was closed. My chest tightened. I thought of an old friend who lived nearby, and I called him. No answer. I paced in circles and let anger take over. By 2 a.m., I cooled down, but I had walked without paying attention and now had no idea where I was. Street signs read East Hastings. Even a tourist like me knew that that meant trouble. I called my friend again. This time, he picked up. From Whistler, head south, he said. I'm sending help. I hung up and heard shoes scuffing the pavement behind me. 4 men, closing fast, calling out for me to stop. I stopped, turned, and knew I couldn't outrun or outfight them. My heart pounded. A car slid to the curb. Doors flew open. 3 huge guys climbed out. The driver leaned over the roof. Are you the guy Dave told us about? Yes, I stuttered. Hop in. We're here to get you out of here. The 4 figures on the sidewalk backed away without a word. I dove into the back seat, shut the door, and felt the car pull into traffic. Relief washed over me. Dave's friends delivered me safely to their house for the night. No questions, no charge. At dawn, I met my sister like nothing had happened. But I kept 2 lessons close. Always stash enough cash for 1 extra night, and never trust a bargain booking at midnight.